And I'm live. Hey, if you are joining early, well, it's only 2 minutes early. I am just putting up the links to the sign-up sheet. Is what are we? 229. And the picture round, which I haven't uploaded yet because I had a slight problem with my internet. But that's okay. Hi, Meg. If anyone's watching this not live, just because you're making your way through my quizzes, and does anyone do that? Maybe leave me a message under my face if you do that. I can only apologize for how boring it is to watch me upload a picture round. Perhaps it's not boring. Perhaps this is extremely exciting for you. In that case, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome for the Oh, I tell you what I've not done though. I've not made that guy shareable. Shared. I've not shared that guy. Share that guy, Felix. Share that guy. Share, please. God, did I just copy paste? Is that what I've done? Have I done something stupid? Oh, the link. Can editor. Yeah, that's what we normally do. Great. All right, folks, you should now have access to the sign-up sheet. Go nuts. And I'm now going to edit the picture out. I need to no, not move it. Don't move it. Why would I move it? Share it, please. Share. Copy link. Pop that over to tiny.cc. FT picture round 229. And I'm going to hit shorten. And that should now be working. Let's have a look. That is absolutely not working because that thing there where it says click to pick, that has not been edited. Edit, please. Try now. Genius. Absolute genius. Marvelous stuff. Wonderful. Oh, Meg's asking how my week has been. My week's been good, thank you. Do I want more light? I mean, we will eventually, but I wonder about opening this blind. It's not a very good blind, and when I open it, it has a tendency to fall on me. Voyons voir. I'm holding it up with a fork. Okay, that's as far as I dare to open it. Yes, I've had a lovely week. I popped out just before this to this little hole-in-the-wall cafe just around the corner of me that does Vietnamese food. And they do mains for €10, which is very good. There's not really a lot of cooking space here. So my meals tend to be pâtés and saucisson and salads and things for lunch because that's something you can put together quickly, and also you can get just good produce around here. And then if I can find something cheap to eat in the evenings, I'll do that. Hello, Romali. Hello. Is there any way that I can move this computer to be closer to you guys so that it doesn't look like I keep turning away from you when I'm actually turning towards you? I had a Zoom meeting. It's a very odd way of saying it. I had a Zoom meeting. Have you heard of Zoom? It's very good. You can have 40 minutes, and you know what? Fair enough. No such thing as a free lunch, and you can just talk. Awfully. Anyway, I had a Zoom meeting with someone and two someones. What was I saying about Zoom meetings? And yes, my friend who was on the meeting told me off for not looking at the webcam. He's like, why don't you want to look at me? But it is just the way that all of this is set up. Heads up, the picture round is still locked. Thank you for telling me that. Why is it still locked? Let's find out. I'm finding out. Restricted. Anyone with the link can viewer. Permission updated. Let's see. Well, it works for me, but then I'm logged into my account, so it would work for me. So hopefully that has now unlocked. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the... We need a word for quiz preamble. Queamble. Welcome to the Queamble. We'll go for Queamble today. We're going to do a quiz in 25 minutes. Quizzing in 25 minutes. I hope that suits you. It will be a general knowledge quiz on the theme of autumn. Because guess what? It's the first day of autumn. Today, 22nd of September, is the first day of autumn if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Anyway, oh good, the picture round works. Meg Plant always found the webcam interviews and meetings easier than in person because she is absolutely terrible at making eye contact in real life, but very good at looking at a camera. Yes, no, I can relate to that. I had a lecturer at university who was awful at making eye contact. He'd always look directly at your ear when you were talking to him. I recommend trying to get better at eye contact if you're going to be a lecturer at university. But if you're going to be a coal miner, then you carry on looking at those ears. It's dark. I assume that coal miners work in the dark. I don't know. I've never knowingly met a coal miner. The Magnificent Devon are here. Welcome back. That'll be the Devon team. Trying our best and happy to be here. The ghost of St. Matthew is a taxiing spectre. Is there a pun in that? Matt Tax? Ghost Tax? Is a taxing? Mattox? No, I don't get it. It might be an in-joke. The Troublers and the team whose name is Henning. Is it? Is that Henning Venn? Have we got Henning Venn? Henning Venn, if you're playing, hello. I like your comedy. Troublers, hello. Gratuitous Hitchhiker's Guide references, hello. Steve Shabak tells me that St. Matthew is the patron saint of tax inspectors. Cool. I was not aware of that. So we'll get going in 23 minutes. Everyone, 23 minutes until this quiz begins. It is a different Henning, but an equally good one. We'll start at past exactly, folks. past. So I'm going to share this. If I press the little arrow thing, will that... I'm sorry. Did someone call for a genius? Order delivered. Control C. And Control V. Never know whether to tweet it. Well, I should tweet it. I am alive. V. There we go. 21 minutes until this quiz begins, folks. You're going to need pen and paper, or pencil and paper, or maybe a sharpened conker, or notepad. I'm a big fan. I've been using this website for years. anotepad.com has been my savior, and so many times I always seem to have a reason to open anotepad.com. Only the things that stick in your brain. I'll be 88 trying to open anotepad.com. Does anyone have this thing where if you're I'm an incorrigible. I am a enthusiastic Kindle reader, and one thing that I love about reading on a Kindle is if you hold down a word, it will tell you the definition of the word, and so I don't have to pretend that I already know the definition of the word in some kind of pretense that I'm making to the book. I don't know. So it'll immediately tell you that definition. But then if you swap to a normal book, like a paperback or something, do you find that part of your brain is now programmed to try to bring your finger up and press on words in the book you don't understand? Because I have that now. It's like, I remember once, I think I've told the story before, when I was at university, I remember being in an exam and writing out an essay, and I kept going to press Control S, but I was just doing it on the desk. I was just doing the hand motion of Control S. 20 minutes until we start this quiz, folks. 20 minutes until we start this quiz. Now's a great time for you to pay for the quiz. Do that by going to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. The quiz costs £2 per player. Head over to ko-fi.com, coffee.com/Felix Trench, £2 per player. If we were in a regular pub, I'd be going around with a wine cooler, giving you pens in exchange for money. Well, we can do that virtually instead here at this virtual pub by going to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. It should really be like p.b.com or something, but it's not. It's coffee. Thank you, anonymous person who just did that. For those of you who haven't done this before, you will occasionally hear my computer go la-lang when someone drops their quiz fees in the coffee. Splash. That's the noise of a splash. There's another one. Oh, and Coffee Supporter is now following me. A lot of you follow me now on Coffee, which is lovely. I don't know. I've never used it as a social medium. I've only ever used it as a a sort of wallet. So I thank you for your following. Maybe one day I'll do something just for everyone who's followed me on Coffee. Maybe I'll learn the panpipes or the flute. I'll do that on Coffee. Maybe I'll get a flute and I'll just pretend to play it. We will get going in 18 minutes, folks. 18 minutes until this quiz begins. Hello, thank you, Eileen, who just supported me there by dropping a couple of quid in the coffee jar. Who have we got, folks? Where are you playing from tonight? I know that from some of our regulars I see from Canada, Finland, and Devon are in. Anyone else? Let us know if you're somewhere exciting, or even better, if you're somewhere very boring. I tell you what, let me know. Let me know where you are, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how interesting you think it is in comparison to the rest of the country. If you don't want to tell us your exact hamlet, that's fine. But yeah, let me know. I'm in the 5th arrondissement of Paris, as people who've done this quiz a couple of weeks now know. And in comparison to the rest of France, I think that the fifth is the fairly well-known arrondissement and can be quite touristy, but obviously tourist is no longer a thing. So pretty good. I'm gonna give it a solid 9. Meg Plant is on the other side of Canada now and is doing the quiz at 2 instead of. Oh, I see. You've gone to the East Coast. Are you in Montreal, or a place that I've not heard of? Half the Devon team is no longer in Devon since they graduated, and they're in Essex and Yorkshire. So presumably you were all studying in Devon. Nabend is in Heidelberg. 8 out of 10, very pretty place. I've never been to Heidelberg. I'd love to go to Heidelberg. My most recent experience of Germany was a few years ago. I was in Stuttgart and loved it. Samstati says their town is definitely the most interesting out of the team of Finland's town. For newbies, we have a regular team who come in from Finland. It's one of the oldest towns in Finland and has a couple of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Samastati, tell us more about these UNESCO World Heritage Sites. What are they? Are they churches? Are they interesting bits of wall? Maybe big staircases or forests? I think of Finland as very foresty. Actually, I passed by today the not the Finnish consulate, but it was like Finland House or something. It looked interesting. There was a cafe inside, but I didn't go into the cafe inside because there's a pandemic and I'm slightly anti indoor cafes at the minute. Ryan says they were all housemates when they went to Exeter. I've known some very fine people who went to Exeter. One of them's a midwife now, and the other studied geography. I don't know what happened to him, but he was very nice when I knew. Eileen Jones is in La Habra, which is the birthplace of the Haas avocado. Forgive me, Eileen, I don't know where La Habra is. I assume one of the southern states of the United States, or potentially, I don't know, Spain. But your name suggests an Anglophone connection. Hannah is in Sarasota, home to the country's #1 beach and lots of cultural institutions that are currently dark. Yes. Is Sarasota, I think, is in Florida. Is that one of the alligatory parts of Florida? Are they all alligatory? I've been reading about Florida recently, and it's a fascinating place. Did you know that they have one of the most liberal, what's what I'm looking for? Journalistic laws. So whenever you see all those internet stories of Florida man or Florida woman, that's just because the press has more access to the police than in a lot of other places. Meg Plant is in Waterloo, an hour outside of Toronto. It's a university research heavy town. It's not the most interesting unless you like academia or tech. Well, I like both academia and tech. Nabind asks if people sing the song to you often, Meg Plant. I used to visit the original Waterloo up in it's south of Brussels, and I had friends who lived in Waterloo, and it was quite common that you would go to the Waterloo field where the battle took place. And there's a big monument there with a lion at the top, and you climb the line and you look out on the field and you think, oh, devastation, 1815. Eileen tells us that La Habra is 20 miles from Los Angeles. Okay, that explains that. Now, what is a Haas avocado? Haas indicates a Dutch word. Is that a particularly good avocado? Not enough people sing Waterloo to Meg. If you know Megan in person, make sure that you sing Waterloo to her at least once this week, folks. Hannah tells us all about sunshine laws. Oh yes, that'll be the Florida things. And yes, It's all alligatory. Imagine being surrounded by alligators. Extraordinary stuff. 12 minutes until we start, folks. 12 minutes until we start. It's the first day of autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. That means that today, I've decided that today we're going to have our second ever themed quiz. The first themed quiz was the 10th quiz that I did, which I themed around the number 10, and I enjoyed it so much that, sure enough, quite a lot of months later, here we are doing a second one, which is which is autumn themed. Meg has expanded the parameters of songs that you can sing to her this week to anything from ABBA. So that includes Chiquitita, Fernando, that's okay. Dancing Queen, obviously. I mean, no one's going to say no to a quick Dancing Queen. Money, 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 or Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. All of those, absolutely A-OK. Samastati is telling me about the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the most interesting place in Finland. One is a Bronze Age burial site, and the other is the Old Wooden City Centre. Oldest buildings are tracing back to the 1800s. The town burnt down a couple of times, also known as Old Rauma. It's beautiful. Well, I am certainly going to Google Old Rauma, if my internet holds up. Old Rauma, here we are. Images, please. I'm looking at cobbled streets, single-story buildings, colored in pastel shades, built out of wood. And that looks like it could be a town hall. There's a square. It looks surprisingly sort of expansive, actually, for a European city. It looks like it's quite roomy. There's almost a North American feel to it. Things are spread out and low down. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. I love those windows they have. They have very exciting top arches to the windows. They look like a sort of Vermeer headdress. Hey, folks, go look up Old Rauma in Finland. Oh, look at that building. All right, I found a building which is 1 story, 2 stories, and 3 stories. So there's, I think you'd probably call, I don't know what. Right, okay. So the majority of it is a house, but then there's a conservatory attached to it. So it's a 2-story house, but there's a conservatory attached, which is the 1-story bit. And also there's a tower in the middle of it, which adds, I think that might almost be 4 stories there. It's very pale. It's got gables. It's got absolute gables. Covered in gables. Eileen Joins asks, did everyone remember to celebrate Earth, Wind and Fire Day yesterday? What is Earth, Wind and Fire Day? Oh, they've got that song. Is that right? 21st of September? Is that what that refers to? Avi Kritz lives in Northern California near the redwoods, the tallest trees in the world. Gosh. I'd love to see a redwood. Are they properly red? Is that just a name? They're great. It's the largest wooden town part in the Nordics, as far as I know. That's in reference to the Old Raumi. Do you remember 21st night? Okay, yeah, I'm with you. We are going to get going in 7 minutes, folks. 7 minutes until this quiz begins. 22 of you now. Make sure that you head over to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. Drop a couple of pounds in the bucket to play if you can afford that. If you can't, I'd much rather you played than didn't. Alan Jones says Haas is just a really popular avocado in the US. This is interesting. I'll come back to this. The mother tree was a couple of miles from my house. That's really cool, actually. So now we all know that the American pronunciation of avocado is avocado, but what I'm seeing from Eileen is there seems to have been some spelling drift, that they're also starting to spell it with a K-A-Y instead of a C-A, but capitalizing the K. I don't know if that's a stylistic choice that Eileen has decided, or if that is part of the new spelling. Very cool to see language evolving in this way. We'll get going in 6 minutes, folks. 6 minutes until this quiz begins. Make sure that you have got pen. Make sure that you have got paper. Make sure that you've got a lovely mug of water. Lovely. I never have properly cold water in this flat. I mean, it's drinkable, but I look forward. One of the few things that I'm looking forward to when I eventually have to leave this lovely part of France on the 1st of October is I'm looking forward to being somewhere that has cold water, which is an interesting problem for me because normally I'm in places that don't have hot water. Not a problem. Challenge, hurdle, enjoyment, fun. It's an interesting fun. Thank you, the people who just paid for the quiz there by going to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench and dropping £2 per player in the bucket. We'll get going in 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes until this quiz begins. Nabin makes the very good point that I could just put it in the fridge. But I contend with you, Nabend, that I forget. Also, I suppose I could get a sort of bottle arrangement and fill up a bottle and put it in the fridge, but I'm just taking it straight from the tap like some kind of heathen. Hannah Wallace was playing soccer in Belgium when she was in high school in the summertime, and for hydration, they provided us with warm sprinkling water. So tell us all about your trip, your sporting trip to Belgium, Hannah. Whereabouts? Who did you play? And why? What's this all about? Were you on a soccer holiday? Yes, checkmate, Nabend. Indeed. I tell you what, at the beginning of the pandemic, I really got into chess.com, and my game improved. I to the point where before I'd say I didn't really have a game, and now I think I have a game. And I got a friend into it, and he turned out to be much better than me, and now I don't play anymore because I don't like losing. 4 minutes until we start this quiz, folks. 4 minutes until we start this quiz. Make sure you've got pen and paper. Make sure that you are signed up at tiny.cc/ftpubquiz229 FT, because that's me, Felix Trench. 229 because it is 22nd of September, the first day of autumn. Sweet Human Contact are back. Hello. The Knuckleheads are back. Hello. And Coconut Glamour Desserts. Beautiful. What coconut glamour desserts are you eating? Do you have a coconut glamour dessert? Some kind of... Now, I can't think of any common coconut desserts. Let's look that up. I think one thing that we've really lost in the English language is the old spelling of coconut. Coconut. I regret. Okay, I'm seeing a number of East Asian desserts. That makes sense. They do a lot of coconut stuff in Australia, don't they? Coconut Australian dessert. And indeed, yeah. Lamington cakes. That's what I was thinking of. Lamington cakes. If you've never had a Lamington cake, I recommend looking at Lamington cakes. They're lovely. We'll get going in 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes until this quiz begins. Hannah Wallace was on a sort of soccer holiday. An organization put together a Florida-based team. They stayed in Bruges, but drove to various other cities to play other girls' teams. Bruges was one of those places that I had to go quite often as a kid because you'd go there with exchange students. It's fine. It's really marketed itself very well. But I mean, for God's sake, stay in Brussels or Antwerp at least. Like, there's things there. Eileen recommends that everyone checks out at Electro Lemon's video for September 21st. Demi Adejuyigbe. Is that at Electro Lemon? Go check that out, folks. Sounds great. We'll get going in 1 minute. Rachel Lloyd is just catching up on the chat. ABBA was always good. She remembers September. Her punctuation is always awful. Worrying as she's studying English. Having clocked off. Number one dessert. Veggie restaurant. Exeter. That a perfect summation. Thank you, Rachel. Perfect summation of where we are. Including, I think, with the number one dessert reference, Lamingtons. Bruges is pretty. Brussels has a lot of pretty bits. Like, all the bits of Bruges you can find in Brussels. It's just that Brussels then has other bits as well. But I guess if you want a crinkly building kind of place, then it's fine. 1 minute to go, folks. 1 minute until we start this quiz. Make sure that you have got pen and paper. Hello, La Traviata. Oh, there's some chat happening. I tell you what, I do this other quiz. I know this other quiz with UCL students. I've done 2 of them now. The first one I had 10 of them. The second one I had 35. And I try to get them to talk. I have to do it on Zoom as well, so I see all their faces. And there's just all these faces like this. And then occasionally they'll go. They're currently they're not as chatty as you guys. I think possibly they will get there. They're very bright. I think we're going to make good friends. I think they're cool. Autumn has made its way to Southwest Florida. Apparently, 90-degree heat index. What's heat index? Is that the same thing as temperature? And 51% humidity. Whiskey and Soup of the Day. Hello. And that is 8:30, everyone. 8:30. Welcome to the quiz. Nabend is willing to compromise on Ghent. Nabend, I listen. as a Brussels boy, there is no compromise on this. I'll give you Antwerp, because Antwerp has a zoo. Well. I've not opened the quiz. So I'll do that now. Well. So, good evening, everyone. It's time for a quiz. I have styled this quiz around the theme of autumn. That means that every single question is in some way related to autumn, maybe in the question or maybe in the answer. Sometimes extremely tenuously. As I discovered trying to write a general knowledge multiple category quiz about autumn. There's not that many facts about autumn. Red and gold leaves and a couple of holidays. But we'll see what we can do with that. So, pens at the ready, beers at the ready. Here we go. Question one, something nice and easy. When it's autumn in Paris, what season is it in Melbourne? When it's autumn in Paris, what season is it in Melbourne? That's question one. When it's autumn in Paris, what season is it in Melbourne? That's question one. Yeah, Bruges is quite pretty. You don't need to go there more than once, though. Larry Weaver is assuming that I don't mean Melbourne in Florida. No, I mean Melbourne in Australia. It's question 1. When it's autumn in Paris, what season is it in Melbourne? Question 2 now. Question 2 is science. This is science. What is the name of the pigment which gives leaves their green color and which breaks down, leaving them golden and red? I definitely said breaks there. I meant breaks. It's going to be one of those quizzes, folks. One of those Felix should have done some tongue twisters before the quizzes. What is the name of the pigment responsible for giving leaves their green color and which, when it breaks down, leaves them golden and red? That's question 2. Question 2. What's the name of the pigment responsible for giving leaves their green color and which, when it breaks down, leaves them golden and red? Two of our contestants have suddenly discovered that they are cousins. That's exciting. All right, question 3, folks. Question 3 is music. Music. Which band released the song Autumn Almanac in 1967? Which band released the song Autumn Almanac in 1967? I'm saying Almanac, A-L-M-A-N-A-C. It's question 3. Very sad. We've learnt that the cousins are not cousins. But they are both weavers. in the literal job sense. Question 3. Which band released the song Autumn Almanac in 1967? Question 4. Question 4. New England, the mythic home of American autumn, comprises how many states? We're already getting into the tenuous questions. 4 in. New England, the area of the world that Americans will always tell you about when you say the word autumn, comprises how many states? It's question 4. I'm saying states in the loosest sense. I think a couple of them are commonwealths, but let's pretend those are the same thing. Question 4. New England comprises how many states? It's like more atmospheric, isn't it? It's a bit more autumnal. I should be wearing a sort of red and gold shirt. Question 5 now. Question 5. This is food. The French term apples of love, pomme d'amour, is known by what name in the English language? Pomme d'amour, apples of love, means what in English? Laura Feldman suggests that New England is the better England. Yes, quite right. The French term apples of love are known by what name in English? Apples of love. Pomme d'amour means what in English? Excuse me. Question 6 now. Question 6. The American philanthropist and software developer Bill Gates was born in what month? Probably didn't need a preamble there. Could have just said Bill Gates. Everyone knows Bill Gates. Bill Gates was born in what month? In what month was Bill Gates born? It's question 6. Question 6. Bill Gates was born in what month? And Anne, you've got a proposition from Eileen. She's got an interesting suggestion based on her weaving. I mean, I'd take it up, but I'd want to see a contract first. Question 7. Question 7 is film. This is film. In what decade was the film The Hunt for Red October released? In what decade was The Hunt for Red October released? It's question 7. Oh, that was an easy contract resolved. Eileen is cooler than Anne's real cousins. Absolutely slamming the Weaver cousins there. But I'm asking you, question 7, in what decade was The Hunt for Red October released? Question 7. Question 8 now. Question 8. Forest bathing is the practice of going to a forest, you know, the landscape of autumn, to feel better for your mood. In what country did forest bathing originate? Question 8. In what country did forest bathing originate? Anne Weaver says, if I met them, I would understand. Fair enough. I'm sorry that you've got such square cousins. Question 8. In what country did forest bathing originate? Question 9. Now, this is question 9. The Gunpowder Plot, remember the 5th of November, the Gunpowder Plot was an assassination attempt against which English king? That's question 9. The Gunpowder Plot was an assassination attempt against which English king? That's question 9. We're looking for the king. You're not that familiar with English kings. Just pop a name and a number down. I will need a number on this. Name and number, please. Is that a clue? Are there any kings that don't have numbers? I don't think there are. There's queens. But I think all the kings have numbers. Unless you're going back to, like, the one who tried to, King Canute or whatever. Question 10 now. Question 10. It's Tom Felton's birthday today. The actor that played Draco Malfoy. How old is Tom Felton? It's question 10. Today is Tom Felton's birthday. How old is he? That's question 10. Oh, Naomi, yes, good point. William of William and Mary. Question 10. Today is Tom Felton's birthday. How old is Tom Felton? Question 11. This is question 11. It's brands. In the year 2015, what ingredient did Starbucks add to the pumpkin spice latte? In 2015, Starbucks changed the recipe and they added an ingredient to pumpkin spice lattes. What is it? It's question 11. In 2015, what ingredient did Starbucks add to the pumpkin spice latte? That's question 11. Question 12 now. This is question 12. This is television, streaming television on Netflix. September has brought the new show Ratched to Netflix, Ratched. Ratched is a prequel to which book and film? Film and the book have the same title. September brought the new show Ratched to Netflix. Ratched is a prequel to which book, which was turned into a film? It's question 12. Ratched is a prequel to what? Question 12. Question 13. Question 13. I like to ask you a question based on where I am. I am in Paris. This is your Paris question. Folks, I tell you what, it's bloody difficult to figure out an autumn question about Paris that an international audience could potentially get. But here we go. In which week of October does the art world descend on Paris for Contemporary Art Week? In which week of October, just give me the number, is Contemporary Art Week? Doesn't have to be a week commencing, just is it the first week, the second week, etc., etc. In which week of October does the art world descend on Paris for Contemporary Art Week? It's question 13. Question 13. Question 14. Question 14. Autumn is, of course, mushroom season. The penny bun mushroom is known by what name in Italian? The penny bun mushroom. Penny as in 1p, bun as in, let's have a bun. The penny bun mushroom is known by what name in Italian? It's question 14. I like a Chelsea bun, me. There's a place it's in North London. It's northeast of Caledonia Road, Columbia Street Flower Market. If you go down Columbia Street Flower Market on a Sunday when the flower market's on, you turn right Assuming you're coming from the south, there's a little alleyway, a little sort of alleyway road, and there's a junk shop there, and there's a bakery that does incredible Chelsea buns. And I went there once, and I had a Chelsea bun, and there was a little jazz trio playing outside, and it was sunny, and it was if you can have that exact experience, I recommend it. Question 14. The penny bun mushroom is known by what name in Italian? Question 15. Question 15. In Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds, what song is sung by Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues? In Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, what song is sung by Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues? That's question 15. Question 15. Which song in the War of the Worlds musical was sung by Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues? Question 15. Song that I listened to quite a lot while writing this quiz. I say quite a lot once. Wasn't a lot. Which is as many times as you need to listen to it, really, in any one month. Question 16 now. Question 16 is the alcohol question. This is alcohol. The Italian liqueur, liquore alpino mugo, Liquore, alpinomugo, is made by infusing plain alcohol with what ingredient that you might find on an autumnal walk? Certainly in Northwest Europe, and I would assume, but I'm not sure, in places like New England and Eastern Canada. Probably not in Indonesia? I don't know. Anyway, the Italian liqueur, liquore alpino mugo, is made by infusing plain alcohol with what ingredient that you might find on an autumnal walk? Gibraltar. You wouldn't find one in Gibraltar. That's question 16. Liquore alpino mugo uses what ingredient? Question 17 now. Question 17. Today is the first day of autumn, but in the Northern Hemisphere, what day is the autumn equinox? That's question 17. While today is the first day of autumn, what day is the autumn equinox? It's question 17. And Weaver asks what plain alcohol is. I had that question as well. I looked it up, and apparently it's a thing. But I am unclear on what it is an alcohol of. Possibly something that you can make from different ingredients. Question 17. What day is the autumn equinox? Question 18 now. Question 18 is words. In Cockney rhyming slang, what autumnal fruits are used to mean a staircase? In Cockney rhyming slang, the old Victorian argot of London, what fruits are used to mean a staircase? It's question 18. Possibly like diluted ethanol. I am unclear. In Cockney rhyming slang, what fruits are used to mean a staircase? Question 19 is literature. This is literature. I'm going to give you a quote from a book. You tell me the book. Here comes the quote. You might want to write it down. It goes, "You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes." End of quote. You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes. You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes. Is a quote from what book? That's question 19, our penultimate question of this round. Question 19. And question 20. Question 20 is your first current affairs question. This is current affairs. Yesterday, world leaders came together to mark the 75th anniversary of what? Question 20. You might have missed this in all the, stuff. But yesterday, world leaders came together to mark the 75th anniversary of what? When I say came together, I don't think that they did it in a physical sense. And that is question 20, and that is all of the questions in this first round. I'm going to give them to you all again, but a bit quicker. Here we go. Question 1. When it's autumn in Paris, what season is it in Melbourne? Question 2. What's the name of the pigment responsible for giving leaves their green color and which, when it breaks down, makes them go golden and red? Question 3. Which band released the song Autumn Almanac in 1967? Question 4. New England, mythic home of American autumn, comprises how many states? Question 5. The French pomme d'amour, apples of love, are known by what name in English? Question 6. Bill Gates was born in what month? Question 7. In what decade was The Hunt for Red October released? Question 8. In what country did forest bathing originate? Question 9. The gunpowder plot was an assassination attempt against which English king? Question 10. It's Tom Felton's birthday. How old is he? Question 11. In 2015, what ingredient did Starbucks add to the pumpkin spice latte? Question 12. September has brought the new show Ratched to Netflix, which is a prequel to which book turned film? Question 13. In which week of October does the art world descend on Paris for Contemporary Art Week? Question 14. The penny bun mushroom is known by what name in Italian? Question 15. What song in Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds musical is sung by Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues? Question 16. The Italian liqueur Liquore Alpino Mugo is made by infusing the mysteriously named plain alcohol with what ingredient that you might find on an autumnal walk? Question 17. What day is the autumn equinox in the Northern Hemisphere? Question 18. In Cockney rhyming slang, what fruits are used to mean a staircase? Question 19. You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes, is a quote from which book? And question 20. World leaders came together yesterday to mark 75 years of what? You have got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. Throw away your answering pens. Break them under heel. Pick up your marking pens. Ticks and crosses. Here we go. The answers to round 1. Once you have the answers, go and put your score in the sign-up sheet. The answers to round 1. Question 1. When it's autumn in Paris, it's spring in Melbourne. They have slightly more regular starts to their season. So Melbourne spring actually starts on the 1st of September, but it is still spring in Melbourne. Question 2. The pigment I was looking for was chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, which is produced by the chloroplasts. Is that right? Is it chloroplasts? Chloro something else? I think it's chloroplasts. Chlorophyll. Question 3. The band that released Autumn Almanac is The Kinks. The Kinks. Question 4. Putting together quite a good little playlist here. Well, there's 2 songs and they're both bangers. Question 4. New England has 6 states: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. Question 5. Question 5. The French pomme d'amour means toffee apple. Toffee apple, which is known in North America as a candy apple. Toffee apple or candy apple. Both fine, or if you have a local word that means toffee apple, then you can use that. Toffee apple. Question 6. Bill Gates was born in October. October. Speaking of, question 7. The Hunt for Red October was released in the 1990s. It's 1990 exactly. The 90s. Question 8. Forest bathing comes to us from Japan. Japan. Question 9. The gunpowder plot was an assassination attempt against James I. James I. Question 10. Tom Felton is 33. 33. Question 11. In 2015, Starbucks added pumpkin to the pumpkin spice latte. I think I saw one of you suggested that jokingly, but it's absolutely true. It was launched in the early noughties, but only in 2015 did they actually include any pumpkin as an ingredient, as they tried to make it a bit healthier. Pumpkin. Question 12. Question 12. No, toffee apples aren't caramel apples. Toffee apples have a hard shell. Caramel apples are something else. Question 12. September will bring Ratched to Netflix, which is a prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Question 13. Question 13. Contemporary Art Week is the 4th week of October. 4th. Question 14. The penny bun mushroom. I know them more as cep, which is the French name. They are known in Italian as porcini. Porcini, cep. But apparently penny buns in English, and I think we should bring that word back. It's a fabulous name. Question 15. The song in War of the Worlds is Forever Autumn. Forever Autumn. Question 16. Liquore al Pinot Mugo. Possibly it's Pinot Mugo. I don't know. I don't speak Italian. Has pine cones. Pine cones. I did look up to see whether any other pine-related things counted. It does have to be pine cones, I'm afraid. So you can't have pine sap or anything like that. Pine cones. But presumably you could have pine nuts because they come from pine cones. If you put pine nuts, I'll allow it. Question 17. The autumn equinox is today, same day. Autumn equinox, first day of autumn. Today, 22nd of September. Question 18. The fruits that mean a staircase. The apples and pears. Apples and pears, stairs. Apples and pears. Question 19. That quote comes from Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. And question 20. World leaders came together yesterday to mark the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. The UN turned 75 yesterday. Maybe that's why the Earth, Wind and Fire song is about 21st September. It's about the UN. The UN. Let me give you all of those again. You go put your scores into the score sheet. Nabend asks whether the House at Pooh Corner is correct. It is not. The House at Pooh Corner is the sequel. Winnie the Pooh is the first book. Question 1, spring. Question 2, chlorophyll. Question 3, the Kinks. Question 4, 6. Question 5, toffee apple or candy apple. Question 6, October. Question 7, 90s. Question 8, Japan. Question 9, James I. Question 10, 33. Question 11, pumpkin. Question 12, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Question 13, fourth. Question 15, porcini. Question 15, Forever Autumn. Question 16, pine cones. Question 17, today. Question 18, apples and pears. Question 19, Winnie the Pooh. And question 20, the United Nations. So, Naben thought that one was first. It might have been. Maybe Winnie the Pooh is the prequel or something. But the quote definitely comes from Winnie the Pooh. Here are your scores. You've got almost all of them in. Top score this first round looks like it's the magnificent Devon with 16 points. Nipping at their heels, gratuitous Hitchhiker's Guide references. What gratuitous Hitchhiker's Guide references are you making tonight? Let us know. 14 points. Or were you just trying to think of a Hitchhiker's team name? 14 also for La Traviata. 13 for Whiskey Soup of the Day, and Sweet, Sweet Human Contact. And then it trails out a bit. Very well done to the Magnificent Devon, who have just given themselves an honesty deduction, an honesty mulligan. They actually have 15. So it looks like, 3 teams massively in contention. Possibly 4 was Whiskey the Soup of the Day there. But actually, I mean, anything could happen. So, folks, we are going to take a 10-minute break. In that break, have a look at the picture round. The picture round. I have given you the last Instagram post of summer of a number of celebrities. 10 celebrities. Name the celebrity. As simple as that. Some of them very easy. Some of them not so easy. So that is the last Instagram post of summer. I wanted to do the first one of autumn, but no one seemed to put anything up in autumn. It's really annoying. Of various celebs. Tom, name the celeb, please. I will come back to you in 10 minutes at 20 past. 20 past. This quiz will resume with round 2. It's okay. I remembered. We'll get going in 2 minutes, everyone. 2 minutes. Start heading back from the bar. 2 minutes until round 2. If you've not yet, now's a fantastic time to head over to ko-fi.com/FelixTrench and drop a couple of quid per player in the jar, please. Tell you what, I bought a lovely goat's cheese today. I asked for the hardest one they had. You know, when you have a piece of cheese and it's really good and you go, it's one of those. And that is 20 past. 20 past 9, which means we are into round 2. Round 2, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you've had a nice break. What did you all get up to? Did you go get a drink? Did you sit and stare at the computer screen? Check your emails. Round 2 is now in session. So once again, 20 questions on the theme of autumn. But round 2 is the fun round, so called because it's more difficult. Sorry about that. Question 21. Here's question 21. In what month is Canadian Thanksgiving? Question 21. In what month is Canadian Thanksgiving? That's question 21. I appear to have categorized that under the heading of film. I think I was looking for Thanksgiving films. And they came up with a better one. Question 22. Question 22 is your maths question. This is maths. Take the individual Scrabble values of the letters in the word autumn in English language Scrabble and multiply them together. So, for instance, if A equaled 4 and U equaled 5, you'd do that times 4 times 5, and then if T equaled 9, you'd do times 9, etc., etc. So take the individual Scrabble letters of the letters in the word autumn and multiply them together. You now have a value for autumn. Now do the same for the word fall. You now have a value for fall. If we divide autumn by fall, what fraction do we end up with? Take the values for the individual letters in Scrabble in the word autumn and multiply them together. Don't add them up, multiply them. Do the same for the word fall. Divide autumn by fall and express it as a fraction. Thank you, whoever that was. Take the individual Scrabble values of English language Scrabble, the letters in the word autumn, multiply them together. Do the same with fall, divide autumn by fall. What fraction do we end up with? Question 23 now. Question 23 is sport. Sport. Your sport is football. Football. In football, falling over and feigning injury is known by what name, which it shares with an Olympic event? In football, if you fall over and pretend that you've been injured, the act of doing that shares its name with an Olympic event. What is it? It's question 23. Question 23. I tell you what, the existence of the word fall is an absolute godsend in writing this quiz. In football, falling over and feigning injury is known by what name, which it shares with an Olympic event? Question 23. Question 24. Question 24. Is there a more autumnal folk hero than Robin Hood? I don't think so. That's why this is a Robin Hood question, and that's the connection to autumn. Roger Miller plays which character in the 1973 Disney version of Robin Hood? Please give me the character's name. Roger Miller plays which character in the 1973 Robin Hood Disney animation? Please give me the character's name. It's question 24. Question 24. Roger Miller plays which character in Robin Hood? Question 25. Question 25. Autumn in many cultures marks the beginning of hunting season. Which instrument was added to the orchestra due to the prevalence of hunting scenes in 17th century operas? It's question 25. Which instrument was added to the orchestra due to the prevalence of hunting scenes in 17th century orchestras? That's question 25. Which instrument was added to the orchestra due to the prevalence of hunting scenes in 17th century operas? In fact, originally, hunters would just be brought in to play their instruments before it became a permanent fixture. 26 now. 26. Another question where I'm really milking the many meanings of the word fall. This is geography. The Banjiok and Detian Falls are two waterfalls which straddle the Chinese border with what country? Banjiok, Bangioc, Detian, Detin, I'm sure I'm saying those wrong, I'm sorry, are two waterfalls which straddle the Chinese border with which country? Banjiok and Detian Falls are two waterfalls which straddle the Chinese border with what country? It's question 26. Question 27 is music. This is music. It's classical music. The three movements of L'Autunno, Vivaldi's concerto about autumn, which forms part of the Four Seasons, are written in two different keys. Tell me either of them. The three movements of L'Autunno are written in two keys. First key, second key, first key. Tell me either of them. For those of you not interested in this quiz, there's another one happening in the chat, which I'll let you discover on your own time. Maybe that one has prizes. Question 27. The three movements of L'Autunno, Vivaldi's concerto about autumn, which forms part of the Four Seasons, are written in two keys. Tell me either of them. Question 28. Question 28 is language. This is language. I'm not going to tell you the language because that's the question. I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce it again, but I'll do my best. In what language is the word for autumn syksy? Syksy. S-Y-K-S-Y. Syksy. In what language is autumn syksy? Question 28 there. Syksy is the word for autumn in what language? Syksy. Question 29. Question 29. This is Shakespeare. Shakespeare. Which play by William Shakespeare includes the line, "That strain again, it had a dying fall"? That strain again, it had a dying fall, is a line from which play by William Shakespeare? That strain again, it had a dying fall, is a line from which play by William Shakespeare? That is question 29. And question 30. Question 30. Which internationally acclaimed actress plays Detective Superintendent Stella Gibson in the Northern Ireland set TV series The Fall? Which actress plays Stella Gibson in The Fall? It's question 30. It's been on for 3 series. There's talk of a 4th. Which internationally acclaimed actress plays Detective Superintendent Stella Gibson in the Northern Ireland set The Fall? That's question 30. Question 31. Question 31. In the year 2017, which country celebrated 100 years of independence by releasing a new €2 coin with an oak tree on it? In the year 2017, Which country celebrated 100 years of independence by releasing a new €2 coin with an oak tree on it? That's question 31. In 2017, which country celebrated 100 years of independence by issuing a new €2 coin design with an oak tree on it? It's question 31. We're looking for a country which celebrated 100 years of independence in 2017 by releasing a new €2 coin with an oak tree on it. Question 33 now. No, it's not. Question 32 now. Question 32. This is autumnal festivals and holidays. Which festival in the UK takes place on the Sunday closest to the full moon, closest to the autumn equinox? Which festival in the UK takes place on the Sunday closest to the full moon, itself the full moon closest to the autumn equinox? That's question 32. When is the, see when the next full moon is? It's October. So yeah, in this instance, it would be this Sunday then. The Sunday closest to the full moon, closest to the autumn equinox. Question 33. Question 33 is science, well-ish, in that I'm going to mention a metal. The name for copper, which is an autumnal color, derives from the island on which it was primarily mined in the Roman period. What's the island? The name copper is derived from the island on which it was primarily mined during the Romans. What's that island called? It's question 33. Copper derives its name from which island? Question 33. Question 34 now. Question 34. This is fairy tales. In what century did the Cinderella fairy tale acquire a pumpkin? Cinderella has been around for a couple of thousand years now in various guises, known as Aschputtel in the German tradition, that ultimately comes from China and at some point acquired a pumpkin. In what century? In what century did the Cinderella fairy tale acquire a pumpkin? Question 35. Question 35 is your internet question. I like to ask you an internet question because you're all fictional. You're all just megabytes. The Flash cartoon Badger, 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 which has a mushroom in it and is therefore autumnal, was published by animator John T. Picking in what year? I'm asking you, in what year did Badger 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 come out? The mushroom featuring Flash cartoon Badger 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 was published by animator John T. Picking in what year? Who's got it in their heads? I do. Mushroom, mushroom. The mushroom featuring Flash cartoon Badger 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 was published by the animator John T. Picking, who went on to create Weeble and Bob. In what year? It's question 35. 5 questions left, folks. 5 questions left. Here's question 36. This is words. Words. If something is autumnal, then it isn't estival. What does estival mean? Estival. A-E-S-T-I-V-A-L. If something is autumnal, it is not estival. I mean, it could be both, I suppose. But that, for the sake of clarity, I think it's best to say that it's not. What does estival mean? It's question 36. If something is autumnal, it's not likely to be estival. What's estival? Question 37. Question 37 is music. Music, another absolute banger here, this time from the folk canon. According to the folk song John Barleycorn, what did the 3 men vow that John Barleycorn must do? We're looking for a verb. According to the folk song John Barleycorn, the 3 men vowed that John Barleycorn must do what? It's question 37. Question 37. According to the folk song John Barleycorn, what did the 3 men vow John Barleycorn must do? Question 38 now. 38. This is brands. Brands. Red Gold, which are autumnal colors. Red Gold are an Indiana-based company selling what tinned vegetable? Red and gold, one word, but the R and G are capitalized. Red Gold are an Indiana-based company selling what tinned vegetable? It's question 38. It's question 38. Red Gold are an Indiana-based company selling what tinned food? Now, question 39. This is literature. Poetry, in fact. Don't often have poetry. Fall leaves, fall. Die flowers away is the first line of a poem by which poet and novelist who died aged 30? Fall leaves fall, die flowers away is the first line of a poem by which poet and novelist who died at 30? Fall leaves fall, die flowers away is the first line of a poem by which poet and novelist who died at age 30? And question 40, your final question of this quiz, is your second current affairs question. Which country, which is shaped, if you use your imagination, like a folded falling leaf, will remove the Queen as its head of state in time for the 55th anniversary of its independence? Which country has announced that it will remove the Queen, that's the Commonwealth Queen, Queen of all those countries, Elizabeth II, as head of state just in time for the 55th anniversary of their independence? That is question 40. Which country is getting rid of the Queen? And that is all the questions in the second round. Very well done, everyone. I hope that you are feeling snug and warm in front of a roaring fire, covered in scarves and eating a leaf. Let's go through those again, but a bit quicker. But I'm going to have a drink first. Question 21. In what month is Canadian Thanksgiving? Question 22. Take the individual Scrabble values of the letters in the word autumn. That is the value of autumn. Now do the same for fall. Divide autumn by fall. What fraction do you end up with? Question 23. In football, falling over and feigning injury is known by what name, which shares its name with an Olympic event? Question 24. Roger Miller plays which character in the 1973 Disney Robin Hood? Give me the character's name, please. Question 25. Which instrument was added to the orchestra due to the prevalence of hunting scenes in 17th century operas? Question 26. The Banjiok and Detian Falls are two waterfalls which straddle the Chinese border with what country? Question 29. Question 27. The three movements of L'Autunno, Vivaldi's concerto about autumn, which forms part of the four seasons, are written in two keys. Tell me either of them. Question 28. Shuxi is the word for autumn in what language? Question 29. That strain again, it had a dying fall, is a line from which play by William Shakespeare? Question 30. Which internationally acclaimed actress plays Detective Superintendent Stella Gibson in the Northern Ireland set crime drama TV series The Fall? Question 31. In 2017, which country celebrated 100 years of independence by issuing a €2 coin with an oak tree on it? Question 32. Which festival in the UK takes place on the Sunday closest to the full moon itself, closest to the autumn equinox? Question 33. The name for copper derives its name from which island on which it was primarily mined under Roman rule? Question 34. In what century did the Cinderella fairy tale acquire a pumpkin? Question 35. The mushroom featuring Flash cartoon Badger, Badger, Badger was published by animator John T. Picking in what year? Question 36. If something is autumnal, it's not likely to be estival. What does estival mean? Question 37. According to the folk song John Barleycorn, what did the three men vow that John Barleycorn must do? Question 38. Red Gold are an Indiana-based company selling what tinned food? Question 39. Fall leaves fall, die flowers away is the first line of a poem by which poet and novelist who died aged 30? And question 40. Which country, which is shaped with a little imagination, like a falling leaf tumbling onto the forest floor? will remove the Queen as head of state in time for its 55th anniversary? And that is all the questions in the second round. You have got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. Pens down. Quick, swallow your pen. Don't. I do not condone swallowing ink. I want to make that very clear. Don't swallow your pen. But pick up your marking pens. Does anyone actually have a separate marking pen? Does anyone have a 4-coloured Bic? I bought a 4-coloured Bic yesterday. Ticks and crosses again, please. Then put your scores in the sign-up sheet, and we'll find out what everyone got for round 2. So, question 21. Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. October. Question 22. The letters in the word autumn, well, that's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 3 times 1. So 3. And then fall is 4 times 1 times 1 times 1. 3 over 4 is 3 quarters. 3 quarters. Question 23. Falling over and feigning injury is, of course, diving in football. Taking a dive. Diving. Question 24. Roger Miller plays Alan Adale. Alan Adale in Disney's Robin Hood. I will not accept the cockerel or the narrator. He's called Alan Adale. Question 25. The instrument that was added was the horn. I will accept French horn. I will accept English horn. But it's the horn generally. Horn. Question 26. Ban Geok and Detien Falls are 2 waterfalls which straddle the Chinese border with Vietnam. Vietnam. Meg Plant has a separate marking pen and changes the pen color every week because she has an obscene amount of pens. Good. Question 27. The first and third movements of L'Autunno are written in F major, and the middle one is written in D minor. I think those are linked, aren't they? So I think technically the whole thing's in F major. But I'll accept D minor because I'm kind. Very kind. If you wrote just F, I think that counts as F major. So I think that's fine. But if you wrote just D, don't count. Very unfair. Question 28. Syksy is autumn in Finnish. Hello from Finland. Finnish. Finnish team, thank you for holding mum during that and not immediately correcting me. Question 29. That strain again, it had a dying fall. That's Orsino's speech in 12th Night. 12th Night. Which is really a winter play. Question 30. The actress that I was after was Gillian Anderson. Gillian Anderson. Question 31. Estonia. Estonia. Question 32. Well, the full moon closest to the autumn equinox, you might not know, or you might be sort of, like I was, vaguely aware, but it's never been specified to you, that each full moon has a name, and the full moon closest to the autumn equinox is the harvest moon, and the Sunday closest to that full moon is Harvest Festival. It is not an official holiday, but that is when Harvest Festival is. Tends to be celebrated in more rural communities. Harvest Festival. Question 33. Copper derives its name from Cyprus. Cyprus. 34. In what century did Cinderella acquire a pumpkin? Well, in Europe, we certainly didn't know what pumpkins were until they were brought over from America. So that gives you some idea. This exotic new vegetable was introduced by Perrault in the big French retelling of the fairy tales on which the Disney cartoons are based in the 17th century. 17th. Question 35. John T. Picking released Badger, Badger, Badger in 2003. 2003. Question 36. Autumnal relates to autumn. Estival relates to the first part of summer. I will accept summer. Summery or early summer. Both acceptable. Summer. Question 37. Question 37. There were 3 men who came out of the west, their fortunes for to try, and these 3 men made a solemn vow, John Barleycorn must die. 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 Question 37. Die. Question 38. Red gold make tomatoes. I'm so sorry. I kept saying tin vegetables, and I remembered that tomato is famously a fruit. So I swapped to saying food. But if you discounted it because it's a fruit, you don't get a sympathy point. You just get to shake your fist at me in anger at how unfair life is. Well, yeah, suck it up. It's autumn. Days are getting shorter. Less of this nonsense. Question 39. Fall leaves fall, die flowers away. First line of a poem by Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte. And question 40. The country shaped like a falling leaf. Look it up. You'll see what I mean. Is removing the head of Queen is Barbados. Barbados. So, apparently my first pronunciation, suksi, 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 suksi. Suksi is skis. Great, guys. Let's have all of those answers again. Question 21, October. Question 22, 3/4. Question 23, diving. Question 24, Alan Adale. Question 25, horn. Question 26, Vietnam. Question 27, F major or D minor. Question 28, finish. Question 29, 12th Night. Question 30, Gillian Anderson. Question 31, Estonia. Question 32, Harvest Festival. Question 33, Cyprus. Question 34, 17th. Question 35, 2003. Question 36, Summer. Question 37, Die. Question 38, Tomatoes. Question 39, Emily Bronte. And question 40, Barbados. Let's see how you've done. All right, so the teams to look out for at the end of round 1 were the Magnificent Devon, who had 15, 14 for Gratuitous Hitchhiker's Reference, and 14 for La Traviata. Magnificent Devon have 10 on round 2, taking them up to 25. Trying Our Best and Happy to Be Here had a 12 and now a 14, taking them ahead of Magnificent Devon all the way up to 26. And it looks like, oh no, they're not quite. A similar story for La Traviata, who had 14 in round 1, but 13 in round 2. That is enough to bring them up to 27. So 27 points for La Traviata. Can anyone beat that? We're just waiting for Thank Goodness of Felix's quiz, or I do not know the seasons, who will need a full 20 points to match La Traviata all the way to 27. If that happens, we'll certainly note it. Whiskey of the Soup of the Day has also not given us a score yet. Oh, here it comes. I can see the grey box just appearing, and it's 13, bringing them up to 26. So 27 for La Traviata, 26 for Whiskey of the Soup of the Day, 26 also for Trying Our Best and Happy to Be Here, and 24 for Sweet Sweet Human Contact. Oh, and 25 for Magnificent Devon. Lots of you there clustered around. But now let's move on to the picture round. The picture round. I gave you 10 pictures of the last. I'm just opening it up myself here. FD picture round 229. It's quite a pleasing number, 229. 22nd of September. Here we are. Of the last Instagram posts of summer of various famouses. I asked you to name the famous. So, here we go. A couple more scores have come in. No, they haven't. Here we are. Picture one, then. Picture one. Their fellow advertising their food show. That is, of course, Gokwan. That's Gokwan. Picture one, Gokwan. Picture two. Picture two. It's an Instagram video there put up by Carol Baskin, who was brought to worldwide attention earlier this year through the documentary Tiger King. Carol Baskin. Picture three. Picture three now. Yeah, quite a tricky one here because there's no photograph, and also I'd say this person is less well known internationally. But there's some clues here in what they're talking about. Specifically, the reference of Virginia might help you if you know anything about chefs in the US. That is Dave Chang. Dave Chang, brought to international attention through the Netflix series Ugly Delicious. Dave Chang. Picture four now. Picture four. Well, there he is on the left. It's Akala. Akala. Picture five. Who could it be? Well, that's a great big video of Prue Leith. So it's probably Prue Leith. And it is. It's Prue Leith. Picture six now. Picture six. If you didn't get it from the angry self-birthday wishes, you might have got it from Trevor Parker 882 there asking about Noel, or from the fact that his son appears to have liked it. I could possibly have got rid of that bit. It's Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher, continuing to be the most Liam Gallagher he possibly can be. Picture seven. Picture seven. That is, well, hopefully the picture will have told you which one of those those people you're looking at. From the Black Eyed Peas, it's J. Ray Soul. J. Ray Soul. Picture eight. Picture eight. Yeah, really tricky this one because this is a football team. That football team is Rangers, and it is their manager, former Liverpool legend, Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard. Picture nine, another tricky one here, I think. Think tennis. It's Maria Sharapova. Maria Sharapova. No references to tennis there. making it all that much trickier. But well done if you got it. Maria Sharapova. And picture 10. Picture 10. Great picture of the actress Priyanka Chopra, because it's Priyanka Chopra. Priyanka Chopra. Let me give you all of those again. Picture 1, Gokwan. Picture 2, Carol Baskin. Picture 3, Dave Chang. Picture 4, Akala. Picture 5, Prue Leith. Picture 6, Liam Gallagher. Picture 7, J. Ray Soul. Picture 8, Stephen Gerrard. Picture 9, Maria Sharapova. Picture 10, Priyanka Chopra. How did you do with that? 9 points for the magnificent Devon, bring them up to 34 points for trying our best and happy to be here. Have also got 9 points, bringing them up to 35. Can anyone take it from trying our best and happy to be here? They so far 4 points there to gratuitous Hitchhikers references. Thank you very much for playing on a brilliant 25 points. 777 for thank goodness Felix's quiz. That's pleasing to look at. 21 points there. 6 points for the Knuckleheads. 5 for La Triviata. Team whose name is Henning got 5, so 7 plus 7 plus 5 gives you 19. Very good score there. And we're just waiting on Whiskey is the Soup of the Day. If Whiskey is the Soup of the Day can get a 9 or a 10, then they will just take it. Very exciting, this. Whiskey is the Soup of the Day. How did you do? How did you do? Be do. Dee-doo, be-doo, be-dee-dee-dee-dee-dum. Dee-dum. Dee-doo. Just waiting on that. Exciting. Exciting. Okay, Whiskey. Well, I'm not hearing anything from you. So I am going to assume that your internet is frozen or you've been distracted by something else. But it looks like I'm going to have to give it. So tonight's winners, with 35 points, it's Trying Our Best and Happy to Be Here. Congratulations, Trying Our Best and Happy to Be Here. Stonking score there of 35 points. Particularly, congratulations on the 9 points there in the picture round. Also, 3 for Whiskey is the Soup of the Day. Great. Also, great 9 points to the magnificent Devon, who almost got it. The Devon team almost won. They were let down by round 2, and they did a brilliant sally on the picture round, but they couldn't quite get it. So congratulations to Trying Our Best and Happy to Be Here. You win tonight's quiz. And the best quiz name, it's Coconut Glamour Desserts. Well done, Coconut Glamour Desserts. You win best team name. Thank you all very much for playing. If you haven't, please remember to go to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench and drop £2 in the jar. I'm Felix. I'll be back here next week on the 29th of September, which will be the last quiz that I do from Paris, at least for a while. I mean, yeah, might come back. So do come back for that if you enjoy seeing me in cramped conditions like this. If you don't, come back in 2 weeks when I'll have slightly wider conditions. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Thanks and bye.